Hi everyone, I am Alexis Cardancino and I will discuss to you the movement concepts. In movement, there are four concepts which are the body, the space, effort, and the relationship. The first concept, um, it has four categories which are the body parts, the body shape, the action of the body parts, and the action of the whole body. The first category is the body parts. Its movement elements are the head, the eyes, the nose, the ears, the mouth, the neck, the shoulder, the elbow, the wrist, the hand, the fingers, the belly, the hips, the knee, the ankle, the feet, and the toe, and so on. Ito siya ay ginagamit natin sa pang-araw-araw nating gawain sa bahay, especially in sports and dancing. Ina-apply natin to siya sa dancing kung gagamit tayo ng tenga, ginagamit natin ng tenga para pakinggan yung music, para mag-synchronize yung actions natin sa music. The next category is the body shapes. In body shape, its movement elements are the narrow, wide, round, twisted, symmetrical, and asymmetrical. So, the narrow movement, the wide movement, the round movement, the twisted, and so on. The next category is the action of body parts. Sa action of body parts, the movement elements are the weight bearing, the receive force or weight, apply force, lead the action, and weight transfer. So, sa weight bearing, alam mo kung paano mag-balance ng weight mo. Halimbawa ito, kung tatayo ka lang, kailangan mong mabalance yung weight mo. Kailangan dito lahat ng weight. Ganyan. The next one is receive force or weight. Halimbawa, sa sports, palagay natin sa volleyball, pag sasalo ka ng bola, pag receive ka ng bola, halimbawa ganito, pag receive ka ng bola, alam mo kung paano gamitin or kung gaano karami or kalakas yung force na kailangan mong i-apply sa pag-receive ng bola. The next one is the weight transfer. So, for example, in sports, in the track and field, in running, ganon, alam mo kung paano mag-transfer, on how to transfer your weight sa kabilang sa kabilang side ng iyong body. Ganyan. So, kung tatakbo ka, alam mo kung paano agad i-transfer yung weight mo from left to right. Yon. The next one is the action of the whole body. Sa action of the whole body, meron siyang tatlong parts. Dinivide sa tatlong parts sa parts ng non-locomotor, the locomotor, and the manipulative. The first part is the non-locomotor. Ito yung una kailangan umalis sa kinatatayuan mo. And like for example, the stretch, the curl, the twist, the turn, the spin, the swing, the push, pull, sink, rise, gesture, dodge, balance, counterbalance, and the counter tension. Like for example, in stretch, ganyan lang. Ganyan, stretch. Twist, ganyan lang. Ganyan, twist. The next is the swing. Ganyan, swing. The push. The pull. Ganyan. The next part is the locomotor. Ito yung action or movement na kailangan mong umalis sa kinatatayuan mo. Like for example, the walk, the cartwheel. Hindi ako maka-cartwheel. The crawl, the beer walk, and so on. The last part is the manipulative. Ang movement elements niya ay the throw, the roll, strike, the kick, the volley, the catch, the trap, the dribble, and the carry. Ito yung movement or actions na you know how to control your actions or movement. Like for example, in dribble, halimbawa sa basketball, pag nag-dribble ka, kailangan mong makontrol yung bola. The next concept is the space. Nakakategorize ito sa location, direction, the level, the pathway, the plane, and the extension. The first concept is the location. Ang movement elements nito ay self-space and the general space. So, sa self-space, alam mo sa sarili mo kung paano mo i-control yung movement na gagawin mo. The next one is the general space. Ito yung space na gagalawan mo or on how you to consider the space by doing your actions, ganon. Halimbawa, in dancing, like, for example, gagawa ka ng isang skills, tumbling, halimbawa, tumbling, you need to consider, halimbawa, pag maliit lang yung space na meron ka, na binigay sa'yo, you need to consider that. So, kailangan mong mag-adjust sa space na yon. The next one is the direction. Ang movement elements nito ay the forward, the backward, the sideways, up, down, clockwise, and the counterclockwise. So, sa direction, ito yung mga direction na, from the word direction, ito yung mga pupuntahan mo, or, for example, the forward, the backward, the sideways, the up and down, and then the clockwise, and the counterclockwise. In the movement elements of the level, like for example, in dancing, pag kung halimbawa sa folk dance, may mga literatures na kailangan sundin. So, kailangan natin i-apply yung level talaga. Like for example, sa low or sa high, ganon. Kung sinabing high, ganyan. Kailangan ganyan lahat. Pag kung sinabing low, ganyan. Halimbawa, pag kung sinabing level lang sa shoulder, ganyan. Level lang sa shoulder. Huwag gaanong kataas, huwag gaanong taas, huwag gaanong mababa. It's the pathway. So, we have the movement elements, straight, yung lalakaran mo na pathway, the curve, yung curve, and the zigzag, ganon. Then the next one is the plane. So we have movement elements of sagittal, frontal, and transverse. So the sagittal and the frontal and the transverse. Ganyan. The last category is the extension. Meron siyang movement elements na small and large. So, halimbawa, sa extension, pag sinabi ng, like for example, in dancing, pag sinabi ng choreographer or trainer or coach, na small movement, like for example, this one, small movement. Yan. The next one is the large movement. Ganyan, large movement. And the next concept is the effort. So we have categories of time, force, flow, and focus. The first one is the time. We have movement elements of fast, slow, and acceleration. So, like for example, in dancing again, you can use fast actions or movements. It depends to the choreographer. Like for example, in yung binigay niya na music is the counting of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, ganon. Ganon kabilis. Halimbawa, like for example, ganon kabilis yung music or yung tinuro na movement ng choreographer, ganon talaga yung doon ma-apply yung fast. Like for example, 1, 2, 3, ganon, and 1, 2, 3. Ganon, yung fast. Tapos yung slow, like for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Ganun yung slow. Like for example, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ganun yung slow. Force. So, the movement elements is are hard and the soft. So, sa force, like for example, we applying force in hip hop. So, we have the hard and the soft movement elements. Like for example, sa hip hop, meron tayong hard movement, hard movement, then the soft movement in ballet. The soft movement and ballet. Then the next one is the flow. The next category is the flow. We have the bound and the free. And the last category is the focus. We have the movement elements of direct and indirect. Sorry. So in focus, we applying direct and indirect by doing like for example again in dancing. Kumbaga, hahanapin mo yung focus mo. Kailangan mo maging focus. Like for example, ikaw dancer, tapos maraming mga audience dyan. So, kailangan, sino yung target mo? Relationship. So, meron siyang, nakakategorize siya sa people, timing, position, alternate, timing, goal, and the environment. So, the first category is the people. So, ang people, meron siyang movement elements which is the solo, alone in a mass, partners, even groups, uneven groups, individual to groups, group to group, and so on. So, yun ang people na kailangan mong halimbawa, for example, in solo, halimbawa solo ako, sa performance, kung paano ka makikipag-communicate sa tao or sa audience mo, or group to group or individual to group. Halimbawa, kung paano ka makipagsalamuha sa grupo mo, or kung paano mo i-treat yung group mo, ay kung paano mo i-treat yung sila as a group. Next category is the position. The movement elements is above, below, over, under, inverted, mount, dismount, in front of, behind, beside, the alongside, and so on. The next category is the timing. So, ang timing, naka-subcategory siya by simultaneous, alternate, and the successive. The first subcategory is the mirror, match, the contrast, and the unison. So sa simultaneous, so like for example in dancing, like magmi-mirror dance kayong dalawa. So kailangan yung timing talaga yung galaw nyong dalawa. Like for example ito. So kailangan, halimbawa alam nyo talagang dalawa kung ano yung count na kailangan yung i-apply. Like for example, 1, 2, 3, 4. So alam nyo kung anong count ito para mag-synchronize yung galaw yung dalawa, para walang may mahuli, kasi nga mirroring siya. The next one is the alternate, take turns. The next subcategory is the successive. Ito yung movement sequence, canon, questions, answers, act, react, and lead and follow. The next the next category is the goal. We have movement elements are the cooperative, collaboration, and the competitive. So in goal, like for example, in a group, you need to cooperate in your group. Kasi kung hindi ka makikipag-cooperate sa group, hindi kayo magiging successful, hindi niyo maaabot yung goal niyo na kailangan niyo. Like for example, in competition, nag-i-aim kayo ng champion, paano niyo yun mai-aim or makukuha yung gusto niyo if walang cooperation. and the collaboration and the competitive. Kailangan maging competitive kayo kahit di gaanong, kasi wag nyo kasing isipin na hindi kayo mananalo, hindi ganyan. So, kailangan nyo magiging competitive at kailangan yung meron kayong tiwala sa sarili nyo at maging confident kayo sa sarili nyo. One is the environment. The movement elements of this are the static and the dynamic. So, sa static, yun yung, halimbawa, for example, in sports, yun yung static, like kumbaga, yun yung mga bagay na hindi gumagalaw. Like, for example, the net sa volleyball, the net, yun yung static. And the dynamic, yun yung net, ay yun yung sa dynamic, yun yung bola, at saka yung tao, yung player. Yun yung tao at saka player, yun yung dynamic. So, that's all, and thank you for watching.